Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to a laid-back episode of Yammy Noob. This is actually part of a live stream that I do on Discord for our members. So if you want to check out these live streams, hang out with me live, ask me questions, and just hang out with me on a weekly basis, head over to yammynoob.co, join the Discord. It's a ton of fun. Without further ado, let's jump into these questions and let's do the Yam Cam. So, Micah says, Yam, I want to get another super bike. I've had an R1M before. What do you think I should get? Honestly, if you're not taking it to the track that much, I would say an H2. I know it sounds silly, but it's the ultimate flex bike. It's the super fast thing that everyone wants. If you just want a super fast, cool bike, then get the H2. What do you expect the shortage of entry-level bikes, R3 Ninja 400 to ease? Wintertime, question mark? Yeah, throughout the wintertime, you'll see bike inventory kind of swell back up and you'll see people start to sell their bikes. So hopefully small bike and the entry-level bikes will be back on the market. I didn't realize that we were having inventory problems with them. That is unfortunate. Bob Wall says, why do you despise the CBR 600RR so much? So it's not that I despise it. Basically, I just feel like there are way better options in the 600 category than the CBR. CBR handles really beautifully, really nice frame. It's just, the engine's a dog. It just doesn't make as much power as a ZX6, a Daytona, or an R6, which are the three bikes that I would kind of consider in that category. But it's still a really good bike. I want you guys to know that. I don't hate the CBR, but it's always easy to dog on Honda too. That's an easy one. All right, Comical says, I'm at 3K miles on my first bike. What maintenance should I check up on? At about 3,000 miles, I wouldn't say there's too much to that you really need to check. Most service intervals are about 7,500 to 10,000 is when you start to really, have to look for stuff. At 3,000, check your tires. Depending on the bike you have, you might want to swap out your tires depending on how you've been riding. Make sure your chain is nice and lubricated and feeling good. There should nothing be wrong with it. But otherwise, stuff like valve clearances, spark plugs, all the basic stuff. You might want to do an oil change, but everything should be working pretty good on that bike. Moral Terror, Yam, if you were a motorcycle, what would you be? Honestly, I think I'd be a dual sport. Just down to do whatever, down to have a fun time, and just wanted to do some hood rat stuff with my friends. I'd be a dual sport bike. Nathaniel says, will the cruiser content still be prevalent? Not sure how it does on views. To be honest, I still want to do a lot of cruiser stuff. We have our Sportster here, which actually, let me show you guys something. We'll walk over here, walk through the shop. It's so cool having this thing on a stick now with you guys. This is really great. But we just put the, and then also the on the Sportster. And I rode it around yesterday and it was really nice. So I've actually really enjoyed having this thing and kind of doing some stuff to it. So I am gonna say that there's definitely gonna be more cruiser content. I really think that people really wanna see like the dad bike stuff. Y'all want to see the road glides and the street glides and those sort of things. So I think we do owe that, making that kind of content to you guys. Yeah, the Sportster, the cruiser stuff, it's still going to be in vogue. It's still a lot of fun. I still want to do it. And it's a big part of motorcycling, especially American motorcycling. And I feel like it's important to cover it, you know. James says, I'm moving to Austin next month. You're going to have a launch party for the Yammy Noob store. We really want to. I'm doing a ton of traveling the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to the track this weekend. So I'm going up to Dallas this weekend traveling, and then we're going to Arizona, then I'm going to Barber, and then I'm getting married and I have my honeymoon. So I'm really out a lot, but I think in early November, I'd like to have like a proper public bike night launch party type of thing here at the store. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, but the store is technically open. Y'all can come by if you want. The address is on the shop website. If you scroll all the way down, you can see our physical address. So yeah. How do I get my wife to stop calling my bike a crotch rocket? Just explain to her that there are differences between naked bikes and sport bikes, and to please call us by our preferred name. It's sport bikes. We're not crotch rockets. We don't debase ourselves in this way. We would like to be called something a little more erudite, more elevated in that way. We are not crotch rockets, my God. Rubber Rider says, what's the best street V4? Honestly, it's the Street Fighter, the Ducati. It's so good, guys. It's so good. It is so good. There's nothing quite like it. It's extremely good. One more time for good luck. Any intention of actually trying out the 2021 Plus? I'm gonna be riding one at Arizona at the Indy racetrack for Champ School. So next week, I'm going to be riding one, and we're making a video on it. So I'm very excited about that. Mr. Negative, what do I need to turn my Road King into a King of the Baggers bike besides a different bike? Man, those builds are wild. I really encourage you to go out to a Moto America race and see those things in person in the paddock. It's incredible what they do. I mean, the geometry is totally different. The seats are super raised up. The foot pegs, the motor's built, the front suspension. I mean, those bikes are kitted out like crazy. Matthew says, caught up on the Yamcast, best quote, I'd never own a Royal Enfield, never. I'm going to put that out right there now in the world. I will never own a Royal Enfield. I'm sorry, guys, none of their bikes. How things change. How things change. All right, fatherless kid. I'm really stuck between an R7 and Ninja 400 as my first bike. I'm a gearhead, really involved in the mechanics of anything with an engine. I'm currently surrounded by highways. Which would you suggest? If you're surrounded by highways and there's not that much twisty road action where you live, just get the R7. You're gonna have more fun with it. It's a little spicy for a beginner bike, but relatively approachable. You can kind of grow into it a little bit. It only has 75 horsepower. It's okay. It's a decent choice. I think the 400 is a better option, but again, if you only have big highways, you live where you live, and you can't really change that. Dalton says, what would be a great second bike if I want a sport bike or a super sport? First bike was a Ducati Monster. Naked bike is cool, but I want an actual sport bike. Honestly, you can't go wrong with the ZX6. ZX6 is such a good bike, man. The ZX6 is value priced, brand new. You can get them, tons of service ability to them, modifications as well. I say ZX6. Leroy says, on that note, how do you hide bikes from your wife? Well, luckily when I met her, she knew the deal with me in the motorcycles, and I have my whole shop here, so I can buy them and just stow them away and she'll never know. So that's easy. Preferred bike pronouns. My preferred bike pronoun is Busa. Please refer to me as such. Jacob says, so in light of the pending marriage, best fun 2-up tourer. I'm gonna go for a wild card here. Yamaha FJR. Pretty good bike. Underrated. Pretty good. Kind of heavy, but pretty good. Pretty good. Billy says, if I'm given an old race suit, how would you recommend checking to see if it's still safe? So look in the stitching on the race suit. Look on the important kind of impact areas in the stitching. If that's all still together, you're good to go. I'll actually show you guys. We'll do another little tour really quick because this is pertinent to the question because I have it here at the shop. So here's my old suit that I've had. I've crashed in this about 4 times, and you can tell the stitching is still pretty good. Obviously, the leather's kind of smooth and worn down here because, you know, asphalt, but everything else is in pretty good nick. It's obviously a little worse for wear, but it's still a totally usable and wearable suit. I'm just kind of vain, and I wanted another new suit because I didn't want to look all dusty up on track, you know. Irish Trash says, does your fiance ride or just passenger? She does not ride, and she's only ridden passenger a handful of times. She doesn't really like riding. Well, she doesn't mind riding in the back. I really don't like having her on the back. I really prefer riding solo. Let's see here. If you have any meetups, will you give out any Yami New brake reservoir covers? So I only have like 6 or 7 left of those. I actually need to print out some more. And then maybe I'll start handing them out, or maybe we can sell them or give them away to special people. I like keeping it as like this exclusive thing that nobody can have. It's kind of fun. But yeah, I think that'd be cool to give those out. Michael Giza says, 2015 RSV4 or 1098? 1098, all day. All day, every day. Billy says, would you do a 24-hour 125cc race? Yeah, why not? If you were given a blank check to obtain any bike that's ever existed, which would you choose? I would choose a mint, restored, to my specification, perfect setup Honda CBX. And I would probably retain a mechanic in so that he can or she can fix it for me because I don't want a wrench on it. Corey says, Yami, with your YouTube poll, would you be able to get your hands on one of those Keanu Reeves Arch motorcycles to do a vlog with? Man, so this is a funny story. So we were in contact with Arch to get one of their bikes, and we were really hyped on it. We were really excited to get the bike, and we were talking to their marketing people, and it was all going well. And then I made the stupid bonehead move of sending them a video where we talked about Arch, and I didn't review the video that we sent them, and it was some list video we made. I was like, hey, check it out. We've actually talked to you guys before, about you guys before in the video, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out in the video, we said that nobody should own an Arch because it's like super expensive and like you can't service them or whatever. They got super butthurt and absolutely ghosted us and told us that I'm pretty sure the marketing contact over there, she was like, why are you even talking to us? You clearly hate the brand. Don't contact us again. So unless somebody has an Arch and is willing for me to ride it, that's the only way I'm going to be able to ride that bike because they despise me because we screwed up. So yeah, it is what it is. Joe Hibbert, in your opinion, what is the quietest helmet available? The Schuberths are the quietest, and it's because they have like no ventilation. So it's kind of a drawback, right? If you have a lot of ventilation, you're going to increase the noise a little bit. But a Schuberth, from what I understand, very little ventilation, very little noise, very quiet. Let's go walk near the other bikes, shall we? Try to update you guys. Oh, I have Street Fighter updates for you guys. Some stuff that's cooking in the background. So really quick little behind the scenes here. First of all, that's Kevin's bike, S1000RR. That's a nice one, Kevin. That's a nice one. Look at this bike. Mans is over here. He literally parks it in front of where he works. You got the dream, dude. You got it made.
Just gotta stare at it all day.
He's got it made.
Got the Street Fighter over there too.
Yeah. So I rode this thing today, the CLX Heritage, the CF Moto. Pretty good little bike, you know, pretty good little bike. I got a lot to say about it. Video coming out. Little ride and review on it. That was pretty fun. Turbo Busa chilling over here as it does. But the Street Fighter, I did want to tell you guys, we got some really cool stuff going with this. The guys over Motivation want to hook us up with the kind of cool, right? I think it's pretty sweet. Michael Giza says, if I send you my bike, would you review it and roast it? Yes, please send me your bike. I will absolutely review it and roast it. If you show up here with the bike, I would love that even better. Devin says, are there any trips planned for 2023? There's a big one planned that already is on the works. So we were talking to our contact over at Leo Vinci, and he said that he can hook us up with 2 VIP tickets, paddock access to... And I was like, I am on that like white on rice, baby. You don't have to tell me twice, because that's going to be frickin' sweet. Mr. Negative, if I upgrade my suspension in mid-set, increase lean, show up in Texas to track the GP Road King, are you going to ride it and roast it? I would love to interview you and ride it, my man. If you are here in Texas, again, please let me know. Last time we kind of missed each other and we weren't able to connect, but I would still love to interview you and review the bike and review the Road Glide and see if it's the Harley that can finally get people off my back about it. Maybe it's the one that changes my mind. Maybe it's the Harley that changes everything, bro. It's the one that changes everything. Mr. Negative, Road King, not Glide. I am my sincerest apologies, my deepest apologies, really, from the bottom of my heart. I have notoriously had a hard time with Harley nomenclature. All their stuff sounds like Wide, Road, Glide, King, Pin, Bagger, Special, Screaming Eagle, Stage 9. It's hard to keep up. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Bob says, I want to take my bike on track day, but I think I'd be intimidated. What advice would you give about the first day jitters? You're always going to be nervous on your first track day because you feel like you have to go faster. You feel like you have to, perform really well. Just ride your own ride. You're there to have fun, to be safe. On your first track day, you're going to be doing a lot of single file lines, just going around the track. It's going to be very mellow. It's actually going to be a lot more calming than you think. And just go to have fun, Should be all good. What's the fastest, scariest dirt bike you've ridden? KX450 two-stroke for me. Honestly, the scariest dirt bike I've ever ridden was a Kawasaki 450 motocross bike that was fully zooted, factory prepped. I had never really ridden a dirt bike before then. And that was one of the first ones I rode. Terrified me. All right, I'm going to answer this last question here. Billy says, who is your least favorite car brand to see on the street always doing the dumb? Here in Austin, it's Tesla, baby. Tesla people annoy the ever-loving me. I'm not going to lie. Tesla people, they are just, my God, they're never paying attention. It seems like they're always putting autopilot on their car and hoping for the best. They're always trying to cut you off or not letting you get through. I hate Tesla people. This is going to sound really petty, but every time I see a Tesla person, I immediately disrespect them. If I can get in front of them or if I can cut them off, I hate Tesla people so much. It drives me insane. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's Yam Cam, and I'll be on Discord as well. But thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it.